What's going on, guys? Today we have a very different kind of video talking about my collecting addiction. Now, to be fair, I think that collecting in itself is a very addictive hobby regardless of what you are collecting. But a lot of the best, most well-known collectors have been in the hobby that they're in, the niche they're in, for a very long time. That's where this story that I'm about to tell you differentiates a little bit from that story. So I've been collecting now for 3 years, maybe 4, and in that time I have amassed an insane collection, one that most people would probably take 10, maybe 20 years to collect over time. I have rushed and felt impatient on collecting a lot of these things. Pokemon, Nintendo products, you name it, anything in this kind of gaming TCG world, I've probably thought about collecting it or have started collecting it. Mainly Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, and Nintendo consoles. More recently, the GameCubes, Nintendo 64s, Game Boys, Game Boy Colors, SPs. That's a lot. But in terms of Pokemon, I collected almost all of the original WotC era sets. I've started collecting newer sets. I've collected everything in the Sword and Shield block, and now we're going into Scarlet and Violet, and I've recently bought 4 cases of Scarlet and Violet. That's 24 sealed booster boxes, along with other purchases in store, along with buying vintage stuff and consoles online. So to be fair, I've been going kind of crazy financially. Now, the reason I'm making this video is because yesterday I got an item that I've wanted for a long time, and I will still be doing this channel. I will still be talking about the market. I will still be talking about collectibles. I am just taking a pause, a break, that I think a lot of you would feel is probably much needed. I have a good relationship with a lot of people on the Discord. I talk to people on sometimes a weekly or daily basis. And we talk about, why we're doing this, why we're collecting, why we need to have all this stuff or feel this intense need to acquire these things so quickly. And, before I read a comment that I read recently, it was already something that was on my mind. I was already slowing down bidding on eBay. I've started to list stuff for sale, recouping some of that money. And I've just gotten an attitude of, all right, I'm going to take my time. I'm going to still stay in the hobby, but I will be going very slow and being patient about what I'm looking for and learning more about, the market as a whole. So in the last 2 years, approximately, because it's gotten worse over the last 2 years, I have maxed out my credit card, which is an $18,000 line of credit. I've maxed that out twice. Paid it off twice. I'm now in the third time that I'm doing that. I recently, I've always been good about saving money. Collecting made that a lot harder. Even when I was, saving for my first house, my first cars, I was always good about putting money to the side and then putting money towards what I wanted to buy. In this case, I've really gone all in. It's been all or nothing as far as collecting Pokemon and Nintendo console products. I yesterday decided to drain my retirement and my savings for the most part. I left enough in there for a slight cushion, but I drained that so that I could basically stop thinking about my credit card and pay that off nearly instantly. Now that had about a $16,000 line of credit on it, maybe $17,000, I'm not sure with my recent pickups. I've pretty much completely eviscerated that credit line, and in a good way. I've paid most of the card off. It was interest-free. It's the first credit card I've ever had, so I think that's also an issue. When you're collecting and you get your first credit card at the same time, it can definitely be a rabbit hole, so to speak. Now, do I regret any of it? Not so much, and I'll explain that as well. I have started a business. I've started selling on eBay on top of Mercari. I've had 13 or 14,000 in sales on Mercari. I know based on my credit card, I know getting 2% cash back, it was about like $2,000, give or take. So I know that I've spent at least $100,000 on that credit card in the past year, maybe 2 years. So I know that my collection is at least amassed $100,000 worth of stuff. Now, the interesting part will be tallying up everything that I have and seeing if I even reach that value. I've got 2 first edition Charizards. I've got 17 of these base set unlimited packs sealed. I've got like 10 Gym Heroes packs. Where's my Gym Heroes? I've got 10 Gym Heroes packs left. I opened a couple on this channel. I've got a sealed case of decks. I've got a closet full of sealed cases and booster boxes and random products. I've got a garage with bins stacking up of stuff. I've got a lot of miscellaneous product. There really wasn't a strategy going into collecting. I just was collecting stuff all over the place, and I learned from other collectors an idea of what I wanted my game room, so to speak, to be like. And basically, this is what I wanted it to be like. I wanted it to be booster boxes that I didn't have. I wanted it to be display boxes and theme decks that I didn't have. And now I'm at a point where I've kind of matured and I'm a seasoned collector, and I feel like I have everything I could have ever really wanted. There are a lot of items that I would say there's 20 or 30 items that are still on my mind a lot. But they're just things that will have to wait, that will have to be had in the future, down the line. And I want to focus on saving for a house. I want to focus on running, my family's business. We run a bar here in Charlotte, Starlight on 22nd. So I want to focus on running that. But we had a comment from one of our members, not just a subscriber, but a member. They actually pay to support the content creators. And so, and I'll just say, I'm not going to point that name out, but they were saying, I'm worried you're buying all this stuff, and if it makes you happy, so be it. But, as somebody that really enjoys your channel and your content, I do worry, they use the term shotgun spread, buying everything, which I really, really liked that terminology because it really did describe the nature of the expediency I was going for in acquiring everything for my collection, from, Game Boys and GameCubes, inbox products, to booster boxes, to valuable cards, to completing my first edition base set collection graded. Those were all massive goals. Winning all of these base set unlimited packs and auctions, those were all massive goals of mine. I wanted so much stuff so quickly, and I felt like that was a good describer for that. The shotgun effect of just, pellets spreading everywhere and all directions. You're just buying all these things in every direction, and not really having smaller goals. Now, I've done videos on having smaller collection goals, and it's funny because some of my best content is really transparent videos like this, talking about, my addiction and my habits as a collector, and, things to avoid, and to do everything in moderation. Do as I say, not as I do, right? So I'm telling you guys what I need to do. I need to cut back. I need to take a break. And I may not always abide by that. We are only, as good as we can try to be. We can't guarantee anything. In any addictive personality, in any addictive space, you need to be honest with yourself and say, hey, I want to try and cut back on this. I can't say I will promise that I will not be buying anything for the rest of the year. That's not a realistic goal to set for myself when I know that I'm a collector at heart and I really know a lot, almost at an expert level, about all this stuff that I've acquired and still learning about to this day. I still look at auctions. I still look at what stuff is selling for. It's all very interesting to me. But there is something to be said about the expediency of how this channel grew, how fast my collection's grown. And, I want to get back to making wholesome, good content that, people will talk about and go back to those videos for a long time, content that gives people my experiences and, my failures and setbacks that I've had. And I would say that amassing this collection I'll never look at it like a failure, but I will look at it as a learning lesson, that, Ryan, you got pretty out of control buying stuff for a minute there. And, just because I've been able to financially pull back and, absolve myself of debts and my credit card usage, all that stuff, not everybody has that same ability. Not everybody is going to be able to just pull back and slow down for a month or two, and then just they're good to go. They're back to, you know, selling stuff at break even with no debt whatsoever, just pocketing, you know, stuff that they're selling and really being able to save money and collect at the same time. That's not easy. For a lot of people, I think a lot of people in this hobby can relate to this, you know, this spiral that I've kind of went down. You know, I don't want to address it as a super negative thing. I just want to make note of it, and I wanted to make a video of it and document it so that everything is documented on this journey. The reason someone also reached out to me was because they were like, I know you've documented this before, you've documented how crazy it can get as a collector, and I wanted to point that out and stay true to it and basically say that I'm a human. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes, and I've definitely gone off the deep end collecting stuff. I know Scarlet and Violet I didn't think was going to be a really good set, and yet I still FOMO'd, and I ended up buying 4 cases of it. Now, I do think that regardless, down the road, all of these products, you know, whether it's vintage, whether it's sealed, I think all of it's going to go up in value a ton. You know, can I say doubling my value in a year? No. But I do think in 5 to 10 years, any sealed collectible you're buying, especially with Scarlet Violet being the first silver border cards we're having in the English sets, I think that's a big deal and worth talking about. But anyways, getting off topic here. So I have really gone pretty nuts, and this community that I'm building, you know, I confide in you guys, and I also tell you guys my experiences. And so that's what this video is. It's kind of a documentation of my experiences and what I've gone through. And it's crazy because I know right off the top of my head, I can tally up a couple of my most valuable items in this room, and I can come up with a third of the money that I've spent. But the real thing is, how much are you really going to get back when you go to sell this stuff? An important thing to note is, you know, are we all doing this as an investment and you know, as something that's going to make us big money in the future, or are we doing it because we genuinely love the hobby and we love collecting these cards? For me, it's really irrelevant what value will be had from these things down the road, because I just really wanted them and I wanted to cross them off my list, and I wanted to have the coolest, you know, most incredible game room I could possibly have and a great space to do my YouTube videos, and I've done exactly that. So I really have zero regrets as far as that goes. But there are ways I could have been more strategic. There are cards that I have duplicates of because I wanted a nicer version. So I have like 2 of some of the cards that I really only need 1 of. There are plenty of things that I've made mistakes on, overpaying for cards, buying lots of cards, and buying bulk when I didn't really need it. There's plenty of things that I've done, and that's also why I've started selling things on eBay. I've always talked about how a lot of the stuff is for my collection purposes. I have no real, you know, motivation. I have no real motivation to sell this stuff. I love all of it. I don't really want to sell any of it. I've never been the type to really want to sell my things anyways. It's the same reason I've held on to all my cars and I've never sold one of my cars. These things all hold memories and they all hold energy, and I believe in that, and I believe in holding on to that. But I think you know, my dad and me have been talking a lot about it, you know, about trimming the fat. You know, I've got a lot of stuff that I've been collecting. I've got bins full of stuff. It's time to trim some of that fat. So you'll see some listings on eBay. I may put a link for my eBay name. It's just Orion's the Man. It's the same name as my Mercari name, and I do have my Mercari linked. I will try and get my eBay linked as well. I do 99-cent auctions with a kidney foundation donation for charity. And the reason that I did that is another important point of this video. I don't know why in the past couple weeks, in the past month or two, it's been getting exponentially worse as far as my collecting habit goes, but I think I have a good idea of what's going on psychologically with me. As many of you know, I have brought it up a couple times. My mom, her kidneys are both failing. She has a rare kidney disease, and both of her kidneys are failing. Now, I had something happen to me when I was 8 years old. I actually had a third kidney that was a failing kidney, and they had to take it out of my body. They had to remove it. So I have a big scar on the side of my abdomen where they took out that kidney. But it turns out that I've been really messed up with my mom needing a new kidney. That's a big part of my life. We run a family business. I'm used to seeing my mom and dad every single day when I go into the bar, whether I'm working a shift or doing managerial stuff or stocking or inventory, what have you. I'm used to seeing my family a lot. And my mom is going through this thing that is extremely painful for her, as well as, psychologically affecting her. And I think in a lot of ways, I've been trying to stop focusing on my reality, on what's happening in my real life. And I've been focusing more on what I can control, which is like my collecting and the YouTube and, selling stuff. I have full control of that. But in some ways, I think I've gone out of control as a collector because I'm losing control of the reality. I'm losing a grip on, what's happening to my mom and feeling helpless. Well, recently I did have some good news. I am a B positive match for my mom. And I've sent in the information I need to donate a kidney to my mom because I have 2 fully working kidneys. They will also find out if I also have the rare kidney disease that my mom has. But with all of this, I think that I've just been trying to escape. And I think a lot of people that are collecting are trying to escape reality, trying to just focus on one collection goal at a time. And while I do think that there's a big healthy part of that in this community where, you collect one thing at a time and you feel this great sense of fulfillment, and now I'm working on Game Boy consoles and cleaning those up, and I get fulfillment from all this stuff. There's no doubt in my mind about that. And if you get fulfillment from this stuff too, you kind of owe it to yourself to stay true to yourself and just stick with it. Guys, stop! Hush! Talking about important stuff. I don't want to hear your yapping in this video. All right. I think a lot of people, years ago, Pokemon, it was a fad. Same with Yu-Gi-Oh! It fell off. And everyone sold their stuff or gave away their stuff, or their parents gave away their stuff. And I don't want that to ever happen again. This stuff was a big part of my childhood. I was always into TCG. I was always a collector in my heart. And I have no intentions of going anywhere. I have no intentions of stopping. But I've heard it from several people from different walks of life, in my personal life that don't even know I have a YouTube when I'm just talking about this stuff. And it's easier said than done, but taking a break from the hobby, taking a pause from the hobby, that's one of the healthiest things that you can possibly do. I feel a massive weight lifted off of me by not thinking about what I'm bidding on, by not thinking about who I've messaged, by not worrying about anything. At the same time, now I'm also selling and letting go of some of my collection on eBay. So that's a little bit hard for me. But I've got it going to the Kidney Foundation. That's a good cause. They're 99-cent auctions. It's super cheap. I don't even care about the money I'm going to get back. It's really just so people will find the YouTube. Because ultimately, all of this really started and got serious when the YouTube channel started. I wanted to impress other collectors. I wanted to show off my collection. I wanted people to see how far I've come as a collector. All these things taken into account. None of it is more important than my financial well-being, my mental well-being, my psychological well-being, being able to spend more time with my family, all those things taken into account. It's not just the money that you're spending, you're also spending a lot of time and energy researching this stuff. And I will admit, now I have a very good pulse on the market. I feel like I know the market very well. I feel like I know the prices of various graded cards and sealed products very well. I will never come back into this hobby kind of worried that I'm overpaying for something or that I didn't get a good enough deal. I, for the most part, know how this market works and know what to look for, and that is something that's priceless to me. Because I will be in it for the long haul. But, this is just me talking about my story and telling you guys what's going on in my life. And just that the whole thing going on with my mom and, wanting the channel to grow so badly to a point where I'm just buying stuff. And that's making me forget about my realities, forgetting about my mom's health. The bar as well. We run a business and that takes a lot. And sometimes I just want to get away from that, and I don't want to have to think about, running the business. Do we have this? Do we have that? Did we get this person, hired on time? Did I do the payroll properly? all these things that I'm thinking about, I want to escape that reality as well. And so I come into my game room and I do my videos and I open up packs, and that allows me to escape reality and everything that I'm dealing with. And I'm very thankful for that. I would never change that for anything, but there is an extent that I'm doing it that could be harmful, that needs to be moderated. And I appreciate the people that are on this channel that are willing to say the things that are harder to say, but that are meaningful. Like, I worry about you, you're buying a lot of stuff, is everything okay? People know that I've talked about this before. They know that I have an addictive personality. They know that I've struggled with substances in the past. And I'm very transparent on this channel. I'm not perfect. I've made mistakes. And I think that trickles over into collecting. But the main difference is here that I don't drink anymore. I don't smoke anymore. I take my health very seriously. I work out more now. And, collecting is the vice that I have, And as far as my past experiences and mistakes and failures I've had in my life, this is one of the better failures, mistakes that I've had in my lifetime, because it really isn't harming me all that much, and I'm retaining a lot of value in this stuff as, a collectible investment. That being said, thank you guys. Thank you for following me in this channel, for supporting me. We almost have 1,600 subscribers, which is really, really cool, because I was having these conversations with people at 100 subscribers, how crazy this hobby can be, and the whole the routine of collecting and falling into that spiraling rabbit hole. And I know that bigger collectors deal with this too, but they probably offset their collecting habits with their sales, and that's something that I'm just starting to learn how to do. But I've shipped out my first eBay sales ever this morning, so that was pretty exciting. I have a lot of experience on Mercari shipping stuff out, so I figured how much different could it be on eBay? And I had so many transactions on eBay to begin with, so that really helped with my profile with selling stuff. I just feel really blessed. I feel like I've built an amazing community. I feel like I've chased most of my collection goals and gotten most of them accomplished within a 2-year period. Guys, that's really, really hard to do, not only financially, but mentally exhausting, going after one thing after another, and sectioning out my goals and actually hitting those milestones. That's very difficult, and I still have a lot more to go. I was talking about somebody with this morning. I really want the Aquapolis Crystal Lugia, the Skyridge Crystal Charizard, the Crystal Guardians Charizard, the Shining Charizard from Neo. I have several of those Shining cards in my collection now, which is something that I would have never dreamed I would have started collecting, because those are just high dollar, high value single cards, and they're very expensive, very hard on your wallet. But I've just gone after so much stuff. My first edition collection, I can't believe I accomplished that goal. That took me just over a year, which really is nothing in the grand scheme of things. My Pokemon Game Boy game collection, that's insane. I'm missing Crystal, Red, and Leaf Green, and then variations of the prints. All of my theme decks, I almost have a fully complete Wizards of the Coast theme deck collection all the way up to 2007. When it changes to Pokemon Company from Wizards of the Coast. I have everything really that I've set out to get. There's the extremist level of buying it in a sealed variation, but everything I have pretty much I have in the open variation. But the market's changed a lot. 10 years ago, for the amount of money that I've spent, I could have a fully sealed collection, but that's just not the market we're in anymore, and I know that, and I knew going into this hobby that was the case. I knew that I was going to be collecting secondhand, open products, damaged stuff that was a little bit more worn, and I knew that when I did find a sealed product that was really, really nice, I was going to have to pay an arm and a leg for it. Take, for example, my theme deck sealed case that I bought recently. That was $1,700. 10 years ago, you could probably pick that up for $100. It's just, the market's crazy, but I'm on that train now, and that train is going to keep moving, and in my opinion, it's going to keep moving up. And I think in another 10 years, people will be saying, man, if I could have got into all this stuff 10 years ago, it would have been way cheaper. It's all relative, right? We've got inflation. We've got the costs of everything rising in general. It's all relative, right? But I think the Pokemon franchise is really strong. I think this stuff is really strong. But, aside from an investing standpoint, I just wanted to make this video and get in front of it and say that it's been one heck of a ride. We have accomplished so much on this channel. We've had some amazing live streams. Getting to hang out with you guys is one of the best things that I have on this channel. It's what I look forward to. And every day we're getting a couple subscribers. I'm no longer feeling pressured to put out content continuously to gain a following. Everything is kind of just working out smoothly lately, and I'm very lucky and very blessed. I have a beautiful wife, a beautiful daughter. I have a house over my head that I've paid mostly for already. I own all my vehicles outright. There's nothing that I have ever had a debt for other than the credit card, buying collectibles. And now I pretty much, I've drained, a big portion of my retirement and my savings to just clear that up. And I will be able to save it again. Most of those savings were drained a year or two ago to get started in the hobby. I wrecked my car last year and spent a ton of money fixing that. So that definitely hit me. If you guys don't know, I have a couple videos on investing and my stock investments. I've put my whole life savings into a stock called QuantumScape, and right now I'm down about $130,000 on that stock. My net break even is $160,000 on that stock. So if that comes back, I will really be sitting in a nice position, just at break even, not even making any money. I'll be sitting in a nice position if that money comes back. I'll probably use a portion of it to pay off the rest of the house. Maybe to look at us upgrading so we can move in, as we are a growing family, and I will need to put that as one of my top priorities to, get a larger home. But I think the important part is I realize the mistakes I've made. I've realized, what I've been doing, and I know what I need to do. I know that it's going to be difficult. Kind of like in one of the later Star Wars movies when Kylo Ren says to Han Solo, I know what I have to do. I just don't know if I have the strength to do it. I don't know if I have the will to do it. Life is full of challenges and hurdles, and this is really a first world challenge and hurdle. Like, I have to slow down on collecting. Like, come on, what am I talking about here? This isn't like a terrible addiction, or, it is gambling in some respect, because you're gambling that the market's going to move up. But, I love collecting, and that's what I've chosen to do with my time and money the past, couple years. And, I don't regret it, but I think there are things that I could have done differently. But I know what I need to do moving forward. And I'm very thankful that I have a community that I can talk to about this stuff. I don't feel like if I make a video like this, everybody's going to think I have a problem. No, we all have challenges. We all have hurdles. We all have things that we deal with on a day-to-day basis, on a yearly basis. And I feel very fortunate that I can even afford to buy this stuff and to pay off my credit card like that. Like, not everybody has that opportunity. Not everybody has it that easy. And I'm very blessed in that respect. But moving forward, I want to talk more about, the collection that I have already. I want to avoid buying so much stuff. I've seen other content creators talk about this in depth, that they're buying a lot of stuff. And if you've got it like that, if you're wealthy, if you're spending half of what you make or a quarter of what you make, and you can afford to, and you don't really have to worry about budgeting. If your YouTube channel is creating so much ad revenue that you don't even have to think twice about budgeting or what you're buying, then fine, so be it. But to be realistic, I don't have a whole lot of sales. I don't have a massive YouTube channel. My job is to support my entire family. My wife is a stay-home mom, and thank God for that. But I have to take care of all of us, and that's a massive responsibility, and it takes, a big person to step back and say, okay, I see what I'm doing, and I think that it's working. I feel like all the collecting and the sales and the appreciation of this stuff, I think that it's working out, but that doesn't justify me putting my entire everything all in on this. I've shown you guys that I'm serious about it. I've gone all in the past couple of years, And that's as much as I can do. I can't ask for any more validation. There's nothing else to show that I'm a major serious collector. I've proven myself. This is everything from the last couple of years. I started, going after my Nintendo 64s, and I bought the Switch when it came out, kind of investing in the new limited edition Pokemon Switch, thinking that will correlate with the limited edition Pokemon, Nintendo items. I'm trying a little bit of everything, diversifying my collection, and it's come a really long way, and I'm really proud of it. And even more so, I have an amazing wife that supports me in this endeavor and actually has helped me and pushed me to continue doing what I love. Not everybody has that, guys. That's an amazing thing, to be supported by people that you love and have them cheering you on and being a part of it. My wife's come on and she's been a part of the streams, and I think that's one of the aspects people love so much about this channel, is that more so, it's a family channel, and my wife and kid pop on here regularly, and I think a lot of people love seeing that aspect, and that it's not all about cards, collecting, what have you, and having all these things. I've gone through this before, and I've come out of it on top. But this is serious. This is not just a joking thing. This is serious. And I am pouring out my heart to everybody that's on the channel, that supports me, and saying that I'm not perfect. I am flawed, and I have a lot going on in my life, and I think I've tried to escape a lot of my problems, and I don't talk to a therapist. A lot of people have talked to therapists, they've mentioned this stuff. My therapy is making videos like I'm making right now. This is my therapy. This allows me to talk to people, get that feedback, get those comments. I did all of this to start a dialogue and to start conversations with you guys. At the end of the day, I never walk into this room and start looking over everything that I have and go, wow, I have this and I've got this. All collectors, I'm sure, can relate with this, that no matter what your collection looks like, no matter any of that stuff, you are still at the end of the day going to value your relationships, your friendships, your family, in your health. You're going to value all of that more than any of this stuff. And at the end of the day, whether this is a closet of yours or my game room or a storefront, you're going to leave that space and you're still going to be you. You're going to be separate from all this stuff. This stuff doesn't fully define me, but it has defined the last couple of years, for me. And that's something, to think about. That's something to be proud of too, because look at this channel. This channel, I had my mom and my sister were the only people that were subscribed. It's taken a long time to naturally and organically get to the point of where it is now, where we're going to be hitting 2,000 subscribers before I know it. And then we'll hit 3, and then we'll hit 4. And it's a process. And I think I want everything expedient. Our generation wants, instant gratification. We want everything now. We got to have it now. Snap. But, that's not the reality. And good things take time, and good things come with time. And if you're willing to wait and you're patient, everything good will come to you. And I do believe that. And I know in the past, when I've taken a step back to focus on myself and my life, and also talk about, the market, and less of I bought this, I got this in the mail, and I got this in the mail. I think when I've taken a step back in the past to talk about other things, especially because I have a massive collection. I have plenty of stuff I can do content on, plenty of things that I can talk about and share with you guys without spending any money at this point. I'm really looking forward to all that, and looking forward to maybe doing different types of content, doing stuff with my family. I want to do videos showing you guys gameplay on the Switch and showing you guys gameplay on the Game Boy Advance on the Game Boy player. There's so much cool content, interesting content that I can feel that I can do now without the pressure of all these waves of mail coming in and stuff that I'm ordering. There's a pressure associated with that. And what I mean by that is when I get products in the mail, I have to make sure I'm getting what I got, make sure it's in decent condition, make sure it is what it said it was, And also there are people that subscribe to the channel that have sold me stuff that want to see this stuff get reviewed. So I kind of do it for them too, not so that one, they can promote their stores, they can talk about, they can leave a comment, hey, this is my eBay store, people can shop with them. I'm promoting other people in the hobby as well. And I thought that that was going to be such a great organic way to grow this channel. But now I'm thinking the best way to grow this channel is just to keep talking about stuff that I love and, do more wholesome content overall regarding the hobby. Hi, cutie.
Hug.
Because at the end of the day, and you guys know this, this is the most important thing. I know that. You guys know that.
You're full of pasta everywhere.
I'm very lucky. I'm a very lucky guy. And I have no doubt in my mind that this channel is going to go places. I have no doubt in my mind that I'll be a collector the rest of my life. And I have no doubt in my mind that I will... Hi! I will cut back and get to enjoy more time with my family and making videos that I really enjoy making. One of the biggest things on YouTube is making content. Trying to shut me up, huh? One of the things on YouTube is making content that you love making. Who's that?
Yeah.
Ooh, squeeze.
Down. You ready to go
Cute.
Go night-night?
It's lunchtime or nighttime.
I'm gonna go take a nap.
That being said, I love you guys. I love you guys. I love the community that we've built. I'm really excited for the future of this channel, and it felt really good getting this stuff out there and making a video like this and kind of saying we've got a lot of interesting stuff coming up, and thank you guys for reminding me what it's all about without even realizing that you were. Sometimes a real friend is going to tell you something that you don't want to hear, but say it in a way that's respectful, caring, and loving, more so than just hype you up over and over. Now, to be fair, no one knows what my financial, no one knows what my income is. No one knows how much I make. Now, I could easily be able to afford all of this stuff, in theory. No one knows that I can't. Now, granted, I can't afford it, but that doesn't mean that I should always be buying stuff 24/7. So I'm going to try and slow down, cut back. I want to focus on content and hopefully seeing this channel grow and prosper. And we'll probably still be doing live openings because those are interactive and they're fun. But even the live openings, they involve spending a lot of money up front. And luckily, this community has also helped me. You guys have sent me a lot of cool items over the last couple months. We've seen a lot of stuff in the P.O. Box. Speaking of which, I should check the P.O. Box today. But it's been amazing. Someone's sending me a card that I haven't pulled from Scarlet and Violet, the Corydon alternate art. And that's really, really big that someone's just willing to send me that because I haven't pulled it. That's like one of the best parts about having a platform and, doing streams and having a community like this is that I actually have friends and people that are helping me out with these sets. Because money is, it's necessary for all this stuff. But at the same time, is there a smarter way to collect? Is there a way that this stuff can be had without spending, every single check that comes in? Because for a while, I was spending every check that came in and then paying that down on my debt. And I was saving money aside, but it's really irrelevant because at the end of the day, I was still feeling all that pressure from, the stuff that I was buying, the stuff that was shipping in, constantly paying off things on the card. It wasn't healthy and it wasn't mentally healthy. And I already can feel it in my bones. I feel so much better knowing that card now is not going to have debt on it. Knowing that I am going to be debt-free, saving my money, making revenue from the channel, selling stuff and being able to actually keep that and save that. There are some things that I'm still really going to want and go after. Pokemon Crystal, Pokemon Red, and Pokemon Leaf Green. Those games I need to get soon. But for now, my bid list has shrunk to pretty much nothing. My purchases, everything is pretty much gotten delivered for the most part. I will have probably 2 more mail days, and then we'll be doing a lot of other different content because I will not have a whole lot of mail coming after that. I will always be doing mail days. Every piece of mail that I get in will get reviewed, and you guys will get to see it. But it won't be at the crazy volume that it has been. I'll be, making content talking about 1 or 2 or 3 items max. But anyways, thank you guys so much. I know it was a long video, but it was something that I did need to get out there. I did need to put it out there, and it's always exciting feeling like there's a new breath of air coming into the channel. It's always exciting knowing that there's, a positive, exciting, journey on the horizon for everything. And I just feel way better. I just feel a lack of stress. And maybe this will give me more time to think about editing, video quality, doing certain types of thumbnails. But for now, I'm just happy that I've been able to pull back a little bit, and I have the support of the community and people that I'm friends with on here. Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much, and have a fantastic day. If you're struggling with this stuff, if you're spending a lot of money on collectibles, it's okay to talk to people about it. I say this, this sounds joking because it's like, are we in AA or Narcotics Anonymous? No, but collecting is something that can definitely take over your life and your spending, and it's something that is amazing in moderation. Like, I look in this room right now and I'm just like, like, it's amazing to me, but it's something that I can build on now. I have a solid foundation. There's no reason that I can't just take a break. And the same goes for everybody out there. If you've got a foundation, if you've got stuff in your collection that you like, just be happy with it, because it's like anything in life. The new car, the new watch, the new house, the new Pokemon collection, the new whatever you're going to buy is not going to give you happiness and fulfillment fully. That will come from within. That will come from within, and this stuff will just be an extra. It'll be something that you love, but it won't, dictate everything in your life. And I feel like it's different for a lot of the bigger channels because the revenue that they have coming in, the following that they have, really allows them to kind of go crazy and do these crazy videos and do these crazy openings and open up these expensive booster boxes. That's something that's more of a reality for a larger channel. And I still think that one day this channel will get there, and we will get to the point where we can afford to open these big box items, these big, high price ticket items, and it won't really affect the bottom line of anything. And maybe we can do giveaways or something like that. It's something that I've always been I've just ignored it because I just think that, if people are going to follow my channel, I want them to follow my channel because they like the content that I do, they like the stuff that I put out, and they care about seeing me and the channel grow together. Guys, shush, I'm almost done. But anyways, guys, I know I've taken way too long. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic day. Go outside, get some fresh air, spend some time with your loved ones, your family. And I will see you guys for a live stream soon and some different videos coming up. Appreciate you guys. Much love.